What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here. This is Arrow Season 4, Episode 6, Lost Souls. Um, More good and bad stuff. Um, well, not really bad so much as frustrating for me, just because, as I've said before, not a big fan of relationship stuff. Especially whenever TV shows do it and they don't do it well, which happens a lot in TV. Anyway, um, so just gonna go ahead and start with that first. This isn't one of those episodes where it feels like they're trying to set up a lot of not a lot, but Thea is now like they brought in this guy to help Oliver with this campaign, and as soon as he came in, I'm thinking, so when are him and Thea gonna start talking to each other? It just I don't know why, but it seemed so obvious when he first stepped in, the way that they were kind of talking, and I don't know, like based on what I've seen so far in this show, I thought to myself, okay, so they're gonna end up together eventually, right? And then Roy's probably gonna come back in town, and he's gonna see her with him, and then he's gonna get upset and jealous, and I'm gonna be sitting here just because of how stupid he's gonna be. And sure enough, this is the episode where he asks her out for drinks. She's like, no, things are just complicated. And then at the end of the episode, she's like, you know what? Yeah, I could use a drink. So cliche. So cliche. You've also got Oliver and Felicity having their first real fight. I said earlier on in the season that once they hit this moment, once they hit their first fight, it was going to be much... I felt like they weren't going to last long after their first fight. I was wrong because I forgot to account for the fact that Oliver just has to take his shirt off and the fight's over for Felicity. I know people who love this show are probably going to be like, you're an idiot. It's because they work things out and they love each other, and Felicity realizes that, and then her mom helped. I understand the show's reasoning for why they work things out, but I mean, come on. Oliver just... And that's all it takes. No, but it's just, it's such a... This episode was actually really frustrating with Felicity, which, starting off, like the first two seasons, Felicity was one of the things I enjoyed about the show, more than Oliver and Diggle and their whole argument in every episode. They're all both like, oh, I'm so serious and mad. Felicity was kind of the lighthearted part of the show, and that's why I enjoyed her character so much. This one, it's like everybody else is being lighthearted, they're being cheery, they're making jokes, and Felicity is just... Look, Felicity is the one that's not cracking a smile. She's all dour, and, oh, I gotta get Ray back, and I can't believe you invited my mom into town, and Oliver's just like, I thought you could have used it. She's like, no, don't you understand? I'm just like, what is going on? Like, that, what? Like, first of all, the fact that we haven't really seen anything... You know, Felicity does explain why she's upset with Oliver and their relationship, because if she hadn't gone out of town with him, then she would have intercepted Ray's messages sooner. He wouldn't have ended up with Damien Dark. But it just came sort of out of nowhere. And it's almost like this show thinks that, yeah, that's okay. You know, for her to just have this one moment where she realizes that her relationship with Oliver caused this, now instantly she changes on a dime and she's mad at Oliver. Like, I understand that it's kind of a stereotype and a joke made that women's moods change on a dime, but to actually show that in a show is like, you realize that's kind of a joke, right? Like, not all women change their moods like that. And even when it does happen, it's normally on their time of the month. You know, it's not like they do it just willy-nilly. Like, once again, this is not the first time the show has done this, but to have Felicity connect the dots from my relationship with Oliver, I was too distracted with him, I went out of town with him, draw the dot over here, Ray Palmer gets taken by Damien Dark. It's like, what? How are you going to make that connection? Like, it's like they find the worst and most convoluted ways. Like, Captain Lance has done it, Laurel's done it in the past. They all find these convoluted ways to blame Oliver for whatever situation is going on right now. Diggle, same thing, except his was a bit more of a straight line dot, but yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's frustrating to see that she manages to connect all of these random dots that draw like no picture at all, and she's like, "It's our relationship's fault that Ray Palmer got taken by Damien Dark." What? Anyway, so yeah, that was frustrating, but there's some good stuff in this episode as well. Like I said, it was a bit more fun from the other characters aside from Felicity, and I like the fact that they're kind of keeping with that tone. They're not going back to, oh, things are serious and we need to scowl all the time and Batman-esque, like that frustrates me when it is done too much and if there's no fun at all. They're kind of bringing fun into the show, so that's nice to see. Um, the flashbacks are still not connecting to the story at all, aside from the last one. Um, this one, they find some mystical thing, and then you find out that the main guy behind the whole thing wants this pond or something, or water, something. And then the guy that doesn't trust Oliver sends another guy to kill him, and then he kills the guy that's trying to kill him, and somehow this Conklin guy is going to be like, Oliver killed one of the workers. Well, how did that happen, Oliver? Well, he was trying to kill me. He's a liar. Okay, Conklin, yeah, I believe you and not Oliver. Oliver, we're arresting you and putting you in the brig. I don't understand how Conklin thinks that this is going to affect Oliver. Like just because he kills a worker that was trying to kill him, it's like, you didn't think this through. Like, is the boss? If this really does happen, I'll probably throw something at the TV. But if the boss man really does just, okay, Conklin, you said he killed him in cold blood. Oliver, you said you killed him in self-defense. I'm gonna go with Conklin here because he is the best judge of character I've ever seen. Because so far nothing we've seen has convinced me that this. I think his name is Baron Ryder. I think. Nothing that we've seen has convinced me that Baron thinks Conklin is like justified in his hatred of Oliver. Like I've seen it in the past where somebody doesn't trust Oliver and they're talking to the main guy about it, and the main guy's like, "Yeah, you're probably right. You need to go check on him." Baron's just like, "Seriously, dude, you're talking about this again? All right, just to appease you, go with him. Take some workers with you. You keep an eye on him." It's just like, if he thinks that Conklin is chasing a wild goose right now. Like that seems to be his mindset, and yet Conklin thinks that he's gonna figure this out. He's gonna stop Oliver because he doesn't trust him. And anyway, so yeah, it was a good episode overall. Just frustrating as far as the relationship stuff. A bit frustrating on the flashback storyline, still not connecting well with the main storyline now. But I mean, Ray Palmer's back. One of the first lines that he makes as soon as he's back to normal size, he makes a James Bond reference. So happy to have him back on the show. He's a good character. He's another Felicity that brings a lightheartedness. Well, not Felicity from this episode. And that this show really does need that, especially if they are starting to change the tone. They need more characters like Ray Palmer, who are just naturally that kind of fun aspect to it, and not like Oliver and Diggle, who both kind of have to try to be fun and energetic because they haven't been so far. So yeah. Trying to think of anything else. Oh, Felicity's mom and Captain Lance. Why? Basically, what this makes me think of is like going back to Disney Channel shows like Two Friends, and then their parents start dating each other, and then it's all, ooh, gross, your dad's dating my mom, ooh, gross. If it's not for comedy, it's stupid. Like, honestly, How I Met Your Mother had a moment like that, but that was funny because it was adults dealing with the fact that their parents started dating in their old age. This is like, they're not, like, they're adults, but they're young adults, and this is not a show for comedy for the most part. Recently, a bit more, but still not exactly a lot of comedy in the show. I feel like even the music that they had when it showed them getting together was kind of like romantic, like soft piano in the background, and they're actually hooking up, and it makes it look like, guys, look at this, isn't this awesome? What? Are you serious? You're trying to make me think that this is like a really good thing and not awkward and stuff. I don't know. It's weird. But yeah. So that was weird, and maybe it'll bring some laughs later on. Hopefully it doesn't become like this thing where they're both like so intimately into each other and blah 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 blah. And then Damien Dark is the other part of this. Um, he had Ray Palmer this whole time, was trying to get like a hold of his technology and how to use it. In the end, the box that Captain Lance brought to him, he opens it up and it's like, it looks like this not code. It's like these symbols. I wasn't really sure what it was, but it looks ominous and mysterious, and basically he wants the guy to try out whatever tech they would manage to pull from the Atom suit and try to use it on the box. So curious to see what that is and what it does, because it was very ominous. It's like, what is that? I'm so confused right now. So yeah, overall, good episode. Not the best, but still not as bad as some of the worst episodes. Hopefully it continues to get better from here. So, see you guys at the next review. Leave a like and subscribe for more Arrow. Peace out.